Hello and welcome back to the RPG Academy podcast Twitch channel and eventually YouTube page. My name is Michael and I'm going to be playing some more original Final Fantasy today. Probably going to grind out one level, maybe two. We'll see how things go. So I'm currently 5th level. I need 961 experience points to get to 6th. And we're just going to sail around the ocean and see what we can run into. Kind of boring right now in the Final Fantasy game. So happy to chat with anybody if you want to say hi or talk about something. I mostly talk about role-playing games on the podcast, but I'm also a big movie fan. I can always talk about movies, particularly superhero movies, and even more particularly the Marvel movies. I'm absolutely a Marvel Cinematic Universe fan. And I saw Sonic the Hedgehog recently because I have 2 young boys, and wasn't terrible. I actually kind of enjoyed it. I mean, it's not a great movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it was not as bad as I guess I was expecting. Maybe I had low expectations and it met and exceeded them, but it was fun. I had a good time with that one. So these Kazoko, or however you say that, I'm sure that's wrong. They're a lot like the pirates that you defeat in the second town to get the ship, but I think they're worth 120 gold each. Yep. Which is good because I need gold, because that's the other thing I probably could do this session is upgrade my equipment some. The thing that I'm hesitant about is that second town, and I know it has a name like Port Via or something, I can't remember. It's kind of useless. Oh, welcome back, the _Foxblade. Happy to have you with me. I don't know how far along you were when you jumped in, but just going to probably grind 1 or 2 levels, maybe upgrade some equipment. I was just mentioning that the second town in Final Fantasy is kind of useless, that the equipment you get there is only a minor upgrade to what you'll get at the third town, but the price variance is quite high. So if I can grind out enough money, I might be able to just sort of skip that upgrade and go straight to the better stuff, but I'm not 100% sure yet. So I didn't stream yesterday. That was my plan, is to do this Monday through Friday, right around 9:30 every day for a half hour or so. My kids actually were off school, and I don't really know why. Like, we got not even a dusting. The roads looked like they had snow on them, but nothing else did. I guess that's living in rural Kentucky, that, there might be like these haulers that are, dangerous or whatever, but it seemed kind of silly that they didn't have school yesterday. But they didn't, so they were home. So I was with them and just didn't think it would work. And honestly, I barely have the bandwidth to do this anyways, because my internet's so bad. And I'm sure they were watching Netflix and playing on the iPad and stuff. So it just probably wasn't going to work out anyways. But that's the plan, Monday through Friday. And we are talking, this could be tough, about bringing detention back, because the internet has been working for these streams. So the plan is next Wednesday, 9:00 p.m. That's our general detention time. We're going to try it again. We're not going to bring on any outside guests from the faculty, just because if it falls apart, I don't want to disappoint someone who's maybe there to promote something. So it'll be me, probably other Michael with a question mark, and then Brad. He's hoping to join us as well. And so we're really hoping that the internet will let us do that. I'd be very happy. One thing we're talking about doing, Jake and Tom had an impromptu detention a couple days ago because one of their players for the Ghost of Saltmarsh game didn't show up. Jake kind of introduced a couple of new improv games. He's got a theater background, so he's very, very familiar with those. And me as a listener, when I edited the episode to post it, I really liked those. They were really fun. So what we're thinking about doing is getting a list of different improv games, ideally 12, because as we all know, 12 is the best die, and then making it a random roll. So we would still do the 2 improv games, maybe even 3, because they seem to be very popular, but each time we do them, we would roll the d12, and that would determine which one we'd do, rather than doing the same 2 every time. because I just thought that'd be kind of a fun element. It ties back into role playing games, ties back into my love of D12s. So that's the current plan, anyways, is to try it again next week and then add in some randomness to which the improv game that we play. Whew. Probably should be paying more attention to what I'm doing. I really haven't been, so I'm sure I've poorly utilized my spells in relation to damage dealt. So tomorrow, I might do a stream tomorrow just because I got the house to myself for a while, but I also got some other projects I got to deal with. But Sunday I get to play Fate of Cthulhu. One of the designers of the game, Ed, cannot remember his last name at the moment. My apologies, Ed, is going to be running the game for myself. Sophie, who's also one of the designers of the game, and then Chris and Michael from the Redemption podcast. So we're all going to play Fate of Cthulhu on Sunday for a trial. The game's already funded, so it's not like this is necessarily related to a Kickstarter, but it's still a new game. So we have a show and tell recorded for that Tom handled, and then I'm running the actual play trial. So looking forward to that. I haven't played a lot of Fate. I want to play more of it because I feel like it's a game I would really enjoy, but I'm not good enough at it yet to run it in the way that makes sense. So when I run it, it always seems kind of lackluster, but I think that may be more me than the system. So one thing, I'll see if I remember how to do this. So I believe there's this, I think it's a cheat. Oh, it's not a cheat. It's more like it's a little Easter egg. If I remember correctly, if you go under the bridge and then you have to press A and B at the same time 99 times, so bear with me. I lost count. I should be in the 80s though. Nope. All right, I'm gonna have to look that up because there used to be a way that you could unlock like a mini game by doing that. It was like a little slider number puzzle, and I really like those little number puzzles, so I kind of wanted to do that. I thought it was under the bridge and then A and B 99 times, but maybe it's A then B or something like that, or I may have. There's a good chance I didn't maybe line up my hits every time and they were always in sync. So I might actually try that one more time just to. One more time. $40, $50, $60, $70, $80, $90. All right, so I've definitely either forgot something or I'm doing something wrong. Maybe it's hit select. I don't know. I'll figure it out next time. So I've got 2,000 gold. I think the upgraded sword that I want, or honestly the upgraded spell is what I should get. I believe is 4,000. So that's a lot. but it's very helpful, particularly the lightning spell, because you can pretty much just about wipe out almost anything that attacks you on the water at that point. So you only have one or obviously one or two of those at lower levels, but you can spend a lot more time out before you have to go back and rest up, and it just sort of speeds up the whole process. So maybe I'll aim for that. So I'm aiming for 1 or 2 levels and then 4,000 gold. We'll see where we're at in roughly half hour. So we're halfway to the gold and about a third of the way to the experience. Anybody watch Lock and Key? I don't think I've talked about this on here yet. That's one of the comics I got back into. Well, I recently got back into comics. I'm not into them as much as I would like to. I just don't have as much time as I would like. But Lock and Key was one of the ones I did start reading, and it's amazing. I mean, it is flat out brilliant. I'm probably not telling you anything you don't already know. Let me do this differently. But the show was on Netflix, and it's actually pretty good. Now, there's a few changes they made that are questionable, and I have some real issues with some of the decision making. I mean, it's just to make drama. I get that. I mean, it's a TV show. I understand how that works. But the characters in the show do some unforgivably dumb things, frankly. But despite that, I really enjoyed the show. I really hope there's a second season. I might have a death on my hands here if I'm not careful. Hook is not looking good. Yeah, tap Cap. Cap can take it. All right, so fight. Let's do some curing here. Whew, now Wanda and Hulk are in danger. So this is where that third level spell would have come in really handy. I don't know that I would have taken everything out, but it would have done enough damage that it would have been easier to take them out without the danger of dying and having to use healing spells too. So yeah, Lock and Key. Again, there's parts of it that are just infuriatingly dumb, but overall enjoyed it. Like the cast, like how it ended, and really hope we get a second season. Have you read the comics, Foxblade? So the comics, again, they're brilliant. They're also very mature, and there's just a lot of graphic nature to it. And I know that's not for everybody. Totally understand if that's not something you're into, but if you're okay with that, I do suggest reading the comics because they're so good. But I might actually suggest you watch the show first, because then the show will be better. Because when you then have the comparison to the source material, I think it doesn't compare favorably in a lot of ways. But I still found it very enjoyable. I'm glad I watched it again. I'm looking forward to a season 2. The other thing that I think I mentioned this the other day too is Invincible. Robert Kirkman, guy who's The Walking Dead. I think that's his one of his comic series. It's coming to Amazon. I think later this year. I think it's going to be animated, but it's got a pretty cool voice cast. So I'm looking forward to that as well. All right, let's see. All right, so 50 hit points will take one out. So the other thing I started doing, just kind of a while, well, there is a reason for it. A friend of mine, Michael, who's going to be joining me for the detention next week, has been playing some D&D and some other games on Tabletop Simulator through Steam. And I'm just an ancient dinosaur at this point. I don't get technology. But he convinced me to try it out, so I got that, and we played Zombicide a couple days ago just to sort of try out how the system worked, and it was fun. I'm not the hugest fan of Zombicide, but it's a fun game, and seeing how the Tabletop Simulator works and just getting more familiar with it was kind of cool. But I saw as I logged into Steam that I bought Neverwinter Nights, the enhanced edition, I don't know, probably 5 years ago, and I never really played it that much. So I decided to start playing that, and I probably got about 10 hours into it so far this week. I think I'm getting ready to hit 7th level. I do the multiplayer thing where I create all the characters, but that's another thing we're going to try to do through the Discord. Brad has already signed up. We're going to try to find a day and actually play the game together, because that sounds really cool to me as well. Ooh, 600. See, that was a nice little payday. 3,000. All right, 3/4 of the way. Let's see where we're at. All right, yeah. Excuse me. So, is there anything in particular you've been watching that you'd be excited about, Foxblade? All right. I'm going to do one thing really quickly. So we played Zombicide on Tabletop Simulator, and I'm sure that's very different than playing a role-playing game. Michael probably would be better because he's actually played role-playing games, but the functionality is pretty intuitive. That excuse me. So at least with like Zombicide, it looks like you're playing. Like there's a table in the middle of the room. Zombicide is on top of it. There's like copies of the rule book. There's all the little tokens. You can grab things. You can duplicate them. So like if everyone wants a copy of the rule book, you can have one by you, and then you can look at it. And when you look at it, you can either make it full screen or you can kind of zoom in. You have your mouse. You like grab your tokens and move them around. So we use Discord for the voice part. I'm sure Tabletop Simulator probably has something as well, but that just was easier for us. And so I imagine playing like a role playing game would be pretty easy. Michael has shared with me a couple of screenshots of the games he's played, and there's these like really elaborate dungeon setups. So it's almost like Dungeon Forge, I think is what it's called, or Dwarven Forge, the little plastic or whatever composite dungeon settings that you can make. So you can do that, virtually, and you can do all that kind of cool stuff. And you have little minis and tokens that you can move around. Usually when I play, I'm 99% of the time I play Theater of the Mind, so that none of that would matter for me. So like if you play on Roll20, which I don't really do, but if you did, it has built-in character sheets. It can do the math for you. Like you can just click your dex and it will roll a check for you and all that kind of good stuff. So that probably for me would be an easier for role playing, just because I don't need all those bells and whistles. They might just get in the way. But if you're someone who likes maps and minis, I definitely suggest you give it a look. The game itself, I think it's $20. It's like $19.99 to buy it on Steam. You have to buy Tabletop Simulator, and then you have to buy assets for it. Like I bought Zombicide, but as long as one person has the game, other people can play it. So it's just like, real life. I own it. You want to come over to my house, we can play. So with D&D, I don't know what assets are available. Like if you have to buy the tokens and such to build the maps out. But if someone has it, then it works. Yeah, I find Theater of the Mind just works better for me. Plus, it's just easier, and I'm lazy. But I play regularly. We just use Zoom, which is kind of like Skype or the old Google Hangouts. It's just it's a paid service. We don't pay a lot for it, but it comes out of our Patreon money, and it seems to be more stable than Skype. I don't have anywhere near the problems I used to have with Skype on it. So that's all we really do when we play online is we jump into a Zoom call and then we just handle everything Theater of the Mind. You can do screen sharing on Zoom. So if you had like an image you wanted to show, if there was a dungeon you wanted to show, you could, but it's not really designed for that where like Roll20, Fantasy Grounds, or now Tabletop Simulator is. So I'm getting close to both. I might be able to level and then go get that third level spell. So yeah, so I know a lot of people who play on Discord, which we probably could do Discord and not even have to do Zoom at all. But I like seeing people. I know it's not exactly the same as actually having people around the table, but it does. Like I enjoy being able to look at people and like when they're laughing or when they're honestly if they're looking at their phone or whatever, it makes it feel more like we're actually at the table together. So I really enjoy the screen sharing, or not screen sharing, the video and voice calls for role playing. It helps me. Oh, Discord has a video. Okay, well there we go. I didn't know that. I'm dumb. So I'm gonna have to look into that because is it free or is that also like a paid service? Okay, yeah, I'm definitely gonna try that out because I mean we don't pay a lot for Discord or for Zoom, but we do pay for it. So, and I'm trying really hard to lower my expenses now that I'm not working. Pretty much, Patreon pays for everything that I do gaming wise, like all my little games that I buy and things that I try to do, plus pays for the website and all that kind of good stuff. So if I can lower my expenses, yay! So do you play like once a week, monthly, bi-weekly? What's your schedule look like? Nice. I remember playing once a week. It was so great. I had a lot of trouble now that I've moved and I'm not local to the rest of the people that I used to play with. So this tabletop simulator thing just to play Zombicide was kind of a really neat little one-off. I'm hoping to make a little bit more regular. And I apologize. You may have already said this last time, but if you're not already in our Discord, we do organize games semi-frequently through there. Sometimes I run them, sometimes other people run them. I just jump in and play. And so if you're looking to do some one shots, kind of a fun place to jump in. We played a haunted house RPG just a couple days ago. A friend of the show sent it to me. It's something she's working on and wanted me to run a playtest, and I didn't. It was actually quite a lot of fun. If you're into kids in haunted houses, that's basically what the game is. But where it's actually spooky, so um, it's not like Scooby Doo. Like there really are horrific things happening. Um, yeah, the Discord. It's not private, but I also haven't posted publicly the invite. Just I did that once, and within like 10 minutes, we got a bunch of spammers that jumped in there and were just being silly. So we banned all of them. If you're on Twitter, you know, just let me know. Say hi, this is Foxblade or whatever, and I'll send you a DM with the Discord. Same thing with Facebook if you're on there. And if neither of those, just email me, the RPG Academy at Gmail, and I can send you an invite link. It's not super active, though. For some people, that's a positive. They don't, they already have like 1,000 discords and they don't need another one. But mostly we talk about movies. There's been some Lock and Key talk. Talked a little bit about the new Baldur's Gate 3, I think, just sort of came out, the trailer for the video game. Definitely movies, Mandalorian, and then occasionally role-playing games, which is funny because it's supposed to be a role-playing game channel. But we're also, again, organizing things like the Tabletop Simulator, organizing more games. So if you're, want to try that out, you could jump into one of those with us. Alrighty. So since I've only got these two, I'm actually going to, usually I would really focus on these gaze eye things here, the odd eye. But I'm hoping since there's just one other monster, this might work out better. And they seem to be ineffective. Oh, of course, so am I. There we go. Now I'm stunned. So might have been a mistake. We'll see how this works out. As long as Loki doesn't get stunned, that should be good. Nice. Way to come through there, Wanda. Yay, level up. All right. 170, that's a big jump. 111, not nearly as much. 111. Ooh, Wanda coming in strong. I think you have to follow me and I have to follow you. I have my DMs closed. So just follow me and I'll get the notification. I can follow you. I'll send you the DM if you want to unfollow me. Totally cool. Won't hurt my feelings. But I'll get you the Discord invite as soon as I'm done here. All right. All right. Yeah, I leveled up, but I think I'll go ahead and I'll get to 4,000 gold and then I'll get that spell. And that's what I'll call this for today. Because that'll make next time a lot easier because I'll have that spell in my back pocket. So I basically need 400 gold or so. My wife has the day off too. I don't know if you can hear it. I can hear her upstairs walking around a little bit. I think she's turned the microwave on. So hopefully that's not bleeding through too much. Ugh. That was bad. Not terrible, just, not good. Oh, good. Thank you. All right. I've spent so much time, effort, and energy trying to get my audio settings correct. I know they're still not great compared to a lot of streams, but or podcasts, but I've done what I can. I mean, I'm in a basement now. My setup at the old house was a lot better. I was more enclosed, but here, like I know you can see my little banner behind me, but it's just concrete wall behind that, and then open that way, open that way. I've got the TV here in front of me, and so the plan is eventually to finish the basement, though that was the plan up in Cincinnati too. Never quite happened, but that should help me get it a little bit better. The other thing is it's cold down here because there's a framed wall, half of framed wall on this side. I finished framing it. I'm not a handy person. Figured it out. Go me. Then I hung drywall. Not a handy person, but I figured it out. I'm sure if I ever have a contractor come in, they're going to rip it all down because it's terrible. But I basically built a wall. But on the other side of that is our garage. So it's like a half basement, half garage. So it's not insulated very well. And so there's no heating and cooling coming in here directly. It's just all ambient heat from the house. And then I have like a little, mini electric heater that I turn on. But it's really loud, so I don't turn it on when I'm actually streaming. So it's really cold, which is kind of annoying. But seems like, looking at the weather, today's probably the last really cold day we're going to have this winter. It should start warming up. So I probably will be complaining about the heat soon, because that's what we do. We complain about it being cold, and then we complain about it being hot. So I wasn't paying attention. I ran out of spells. Should still be able to win this one, but oh, come on. It's like watching the Three Stooges in a fight. Oh, that was embarrassing. Come on. See, that's why it's always nice to have that spell in your back pocket, that when everyone just seems to be missing, you can just throw out a little lightning bolt there and call it a day. Am I really going to lose a character in this fight? Oh, come on. This would be embarrassing. Well, there we go. That should, hopefully it's enough to keep him alive if he does get hit again. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I should have attacked this thing first before the shark, apparently. There we go. Whew, thank you, Hulk. Finally. Oh, that's almost 200 gold. That should be getting me close. Yep. I'm going to go hit the inn. And then I'm going to head on down to the town, and hopefully between there and here, I'll get what I need. I need 58 gold. So basically any fight I get into should give me that. It'd be funny if I get down there and it's not 4,000 for the spell, and I've forgotten that and could have got it much earlier. Oh, all right, we're going to do it. So I'm going to see if Loki can take one out before the other three combined take one out. Whew. So Loki's about 70, so not quite. Well, yeah, a little over halfway, I should say. Nope. Now, I guess it would be more of a tie if Loki takes out this turn, but I don't think he will, because I'd need like 50 on this, and it usually does. Oh, well, makes an idiot out of me. I just did 70 right there with one spell. Yay. All right, so that should get me where I need to be. We're going to jump down here into Elf Town. And this should be the Dark Magic Loki. Yep, it's 1500. I am done. But this is good news, because I will get the lit spell for Loki. And I have enough left over to get one for Wanda as well. Cure, harm, fire, heal. So cure is a lot of hit points to one particular character, and heal is a little bit towards everyone. And then harm is that undead hurting spell. So I think cure 2 will be the way to go for right now. All right. So I guess we'll go over here and I'll just hit the end. It's more expensive here, but that's okay. And I'm going to call it here for now. But the Foxblade, thanks again for joining me. I really appreciate hanging out with you. Hopefully you get something out of it as well. And we'll talk next time. See ya.